Hi guys, welcome back to Julian's Gardens. It's quite bright outside at the moment, so I'm trying to film this video in my or under my carport. So the video today, I want to share with you how to grow fig trees from cuttings. Now, if you are very new at the gardening and you want to grow fig trees from your neighbor trees or from your friend house or someone else gives to you. Most of the time you can source the cuttings free anyway. What I say is most of the time. Anyway, so there are several ways you can grow them from cuttings. First, you can do air nailing. So this method, I haven't done it before. The second one, you can grow them from softwood cutting, the cuttings that you take in the summer. So this way, you can have to put more effort to get it rooted. And the other way, you can grow the cutting, put the cutting in the jar or in the cup of water and change the water regularly. So this method, I find that the roots come from the stem or the cuttings. They're rooting out, but they don't grow as strong as the cuttings grow in the soil. So for me, the easiest way to grow from cuttings is from hardwood cutting. I normally take the cuttings when the tree are still in dormant and there are still no leaf on, and at that time is the beginning of September. And so I have a lot of success doing this, and I will show you my result here. I stick all the cutting in the little container like this at the beginning of September, and I do notice that a lot of roots try to come out at the bottom of the containers a month ago already, but I was so busy I didn't have time to film this video. And on this cutting, they all rooted. Can you believe that? And I will share with you this container. I took the same time but different type cuttings, and I do notice some of the new buds. You can see the green bud here. They starting shooting up, but some of them they didn't take because I took the cuttings. They were still very young. Now even they were very dark green, but still not hard enough for them to root the cutting in the winter. So let's head to the garden. I'm gonna show you what kind of cuttings I'm looking for and how I do it. Here is my little fig trees. So I trim it very hard because I will remove it. I don't want it in this position anymore. I want it stay in the very big container, so it's very easy for me to net it, because we got the mouse last year, and every time I waiting for them to ripening, and the smell is so good of the fruits, but the day after that I went out and check on the mouse eating my fish food, so I was so sad. So I want to grow it in the container, and so I can carry in the middle of my yard and I can easy to net it. So maybe the mouse or the mice is a little bit scared to go into the middle of the yard and eat my fish food. So and come a little bit closer. So I will tell you the cutting you're looking for is the cuttings that it grow from your current year. So but they're not young. That means they go kind at the beginning of your spring until summer. And that's the cuttings. They often indicate into the gray, dark gray, and green like this. You can see a little bit lumpy, so they're very good for cutting, for hardwood cuttings. And I can show you. Here's a cutting on rooted because from the cutting, you can see that they all look the same color. You can see that, and the cutting like this. This one you can do for softwood cutting in the summer. And you can see this cutting is very green, and this cutting often happen at the end of summer or just right at the beginning when they start growing. But we want the cutting quite hardening up already, so they will look bigger than this stem. And they are like dark green and a little bit grayy. Let's come a little bit closer here. If you can see a little bit grainy, and so they're very good. And I often try to do the cutting when they are the size of my finger, maybe. I don't know what size my finger though. Now come over here if you can see. Look at that, nice dark gray and green. So very good for hardwood cutting. And you can see the cutting that I took. They were very like green like that. They didn't take it. You can see that, but they only just take because you can see that on the green there, some green back there, and I know it's rooted. See that? But on the younger shoot, they didn't take it. You can see the brown stem there that they didn't take it. I think they're all important. And so yes, so first you need to have very clean secateurs. And then I normally take around 4 or at least 3 notes of the cutting. So let me put the camera down. So we are at the beginning of summer now, and this time is not the time for me to do the cuttings, but I just want to show you to demonstrate how you're doing it. So make sure to take the hardwood cutting at when the tree are in dormant, not the leafy like this, okay? And then try to find the hardwood cutting as I just showed you before, and try to get the very clean secateur. And then I just cut several cutting, and I bring into the shady area. I will show you how to do it. I try to get some more. Alright, so I have a little container, and I have very good drainage of the potting mix, and I trim out all the leaves. Just pretend we are in the middle of winter, or we are in the winter. That's there are low leaves on the cuttings, and I cut the cuttings below the leaf node like this, and I often bury 2 nodes, 1, 2 in the soil. And I did all the same, cut all of them just below the leaf node where they will mostly they form the root out, and this as well. And you can see the cutting I got between 15 to 20 centimeter length. So yes, I just mostly just stick the cutting in the soil with 2 leaf nodes in, just like that, and the same. Or 2 leaf nodes. Believe me, they're very easy to go from cutting, and I did the same as well. And after that, I water them in, and I place the cuttings with very bright light, but no direct sunlight. And until you can see the leaf, they are pushing out and grow at in the springtime, and you can move the cutting in the sun. But here the cutting, I want to show you, and we can have a look at this. You can see all the cutting I took, they all hardwood cutting, and if you can see clearly, they all very hard and dark gray color. And let me tip the pot out, the cutting out. I will show you. You can see this, they all well rooted. And I think I will divide them in their separate container as well, because they really need some nutrients to grow. And I just got some other container, and I just use my favorite potting mix. I love this brand very much. Most of my tree, my cutting, they go very well. So I get some down more here. And another one. So it's very easy if you want to divide them. Don't be afraid that you will hurt them. If you lost some roots of the cutting, they will root out again. All right. And most of the time when they were in the container, before you tip them out like this, you can see their roots try to sticking out at the bottom of the container. And here we go. I will just gently break them apart. Just like this. See, one here, Looking good. I just pop in the container, did some soil. I fill the container or half of the soil, and then I put the cutting in, and then put the soil back. And just gently tamp it down, because you don't want to push it too much, the root might get broken. I love this variety very much. They are just so sweet, and the fruit are so big as well, so juicy. So one done. I try to do another one, so I will show you. So some potting mix, and then the cutting. You can see that. They all rooted very well. And to pop in the container, and then potting mix. Put all around the cutting. Just gently tamp it down. You can just shake nicely as well. And another one. You can see that, very well rooted. Put in the container, maybe less soil. So that's it, and I will water all of them in as well. So after I will pot them in each individual pot like this, I will keep them stay moist, and I will keep them in the position that they receive a lot of sunlight. So if you live in the area that have a harsh climate, you have like 30 or 38 degrees Celsius, don't put them straight into the full sun like that. Keep them maybe few hours of morning sunshine, and maybe later if you think your fig can handle stay in the full sun, then you can move them in the full sun. But at the beginning, when the young rooted cutting like this, don't put them in straight in the full sun. We are at the beginning of summer here, but the temperature is not high at all. We just receive like 18 degrees Celsius to 20 degrees Celsius. So we don't have very mild early summer so far. Alright, once again, I want to mention, take the hardwood cuttings when the trees are still in dormant, and to the hardwood cuttings, they will indicate the dark grays and bumpy on the bark or on the stem like this, and they will have much more chance to root it in. And keep your cutting in a bright light area, and don't put them in too shady because they do need light for them to form the root. And keep your cuttings in very moist, but not very wet and soggy, otherwise your cutting will get rotten. And don't let them to dry out. And when in the springtime, you can see they pushing out the new growth, that you can see that the cutting taken. So that is for the video today. I hope this video is useful and inspire you. Maybe you want to go some cutting to give to your friends and family. And thank you, and see you next video. Bye bye.